Hi, I'm Patrick Savoy.
Hi, I'm Shasta Savoy.
Hi, I'm Tyler.
Hi, I'm Christian Savoy.
So my speech today is on the cons of the death penalty. You sit quietly in a room, listening to the flow of the chemicals being injected into your veins. You are looking into a mirror which holds the stares of a crowd of anxious people waiting to see what happened behind it. You know it's only a matter of moments between these lethal chemicals claiming your lives, and you want to be anywhere else but here. There is an abundance of reasons why the death penalty should be abolished in America, such as it goes completely against our human rights, claims lives of innocent people, it's inhumane and extremely expensive. This is why we must abolish capital punishment in America society immediately. One of the main reasons why Americans must abolish the death penalty is because it goes against our human rights. We as the people of the United States should not consent the execution of humans for their wrongful actions. In their website, according to Amnesty International, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states no one shall be subjected to cruel or degrading punishment. Isn't sticking a needle in someone's veins, injecting them with a number of chemicals until they die in front of a crowd against all of our human rights? There are multiple restrictions to the death penalty, such as no one who's pregnant, no one under the age of 18, or if they are mentally ill, can be put to death. I feel like Americans have a right to live even if they've committed the most heinous crimes. These criminals deserve to just rot in prison their whole lives with no option of parole. It sounds like a way better punishment to force them to live in a 6x8 cell with only 1 hour of yard time, 3 bland meals a day, and no special priorities for the rest of their lives. Giving these criminals the death penalty doesn't allow them to sit there and think about what they did wrong. Most of them have already accepted death and would much rather prefer to die than just sit in a room and do nothing for the rest of their lives. How does it make us any better than the criminals if we execute them for killing someone else? In the website, Balanced Politicians, it's barbaric to allow state-sanctioned murder in front of a crowd. The government is using murder to punish people who murder others, but allow others to just watch it is wrong. Another reason why we need to ban capital punishment is because it claims the lives of innocent people. Case evidence is not always accurate and people can make mistakes. But those mistakes can cost innocent people their lives. Common Dreams stated that a recent study concludes that over 4% of people on death row in America are not guilty of the crimes they claimed they committed. Those 4% of people are going to be executed just because wrongful evidence is sickening. In the website Death Penalty, since the reinstatement of modern day death penalty, 87 people have been freed from death row because they were proven innocent. 87 people that could have lost their lives for something they did not do, while the actual criminal is out there in the world living life. A majority of people that are put on death row are wrongfully committed because eyewitness claiming to see something that wasn't there, police misconduct of evidence, and also because of pressure on government to solve those horrendous crimes. Crime labs can make mistakes when it comes to processing the evidence and provide the court with false information. And your brain doesn't always remember what happens on certain nights. So the longer the conviction process, the more the eyewitness' story is more likely to change. They see people who weren't there, might see a blue car when it really was red, yet we trust these statements enough to convict someone to death for it. Thirdly, we should abolish the death penalty because it's extremely inhumane. How do we justify killing these through chemicals or electrocution humane? We have no way of knowing, even with all these chemicals we inject in the person, that it still isn't painful. Some chemicals might affect the mask of another one and still be causing that person enormous amounts of pain. But they are unable to show it. Even there are a few cases left in the United States, electrocution used to be the more popular way of execution. According to death penalty information, there is a case in 1982 where Frank Coppola was sentenced to the electric chair. He was presented with two 55 volts of electricity, but the second volt produced the odor of a sizzling sound of burning flesh, with his legs and head catching fire. The pain and suffering he must have felt as his whole body was burning from the inside out is unimaginable, and no one, no matter how horrible of a person they are, deserves that kind of suffering. How can the government condemn the kind of action and get away with it? Another botched execution happened in 1983 when Jimmy Lee Gray was asphyxiated. He was left in a room for 8 minutes, which was filled with gas, gasping for air, and he died by banging his head against a steel pole. That's from death penalty information. Americans need to stand up against these inhumane actions the government is trying to justify. No one deserves to have their bodies go up into flames or die by bashing their head into a pole, no matter how horrible they are. You have the power to stand up against the government and shed light on how wrong capital punishment really is. The last reason why capital punishment should be exempt from our society is because it's extremely too expensive. It's much cheaper to keep criminals in jail for the rest of their lives than commit an execution. With execution, you have to have a ridiculous amount of trials and investigations to make sure the death penalty is the right action. According to Amnesty International, in Maryland, it costs $3 million per death case penalty. We are spending $3 million of hardworking civilian money to put somebody to death. Also in California, for a whole year to have the death penalty, it will cost a total of $137 million. That money could be put towards more rewarding causes such as helping hunger in America, finding a cure for cancer or other diseases. Think of all the hungry kids we could feed with $137 million. Yet we choose to spend that money on murdering other human beings. In conclusion, we must abolish capital punishment from America. This horrendous thing is just weighing down our country and making us look bad to other countries that have already abolished it from their societies. We as Americans are better than executing other human beings for committing those same acts of crime. Capital punishment shouldn't be a part of our culture, such as it goes completely against our human rights, claims the lives of innocent people, it's inhumane and extremely expensive. This is why we must abolish capital punishment from our American society immediately.